Happy Sunday. So today was okay. First of all, I want to say something. I don't suck this bad at makeup. I have a sunburn. That's when my face is like 10 times lighter than my body. Bothering me. I just need to get that out there. But anyways, okay. So today was the first day at church that I went and sat in the youth group and listened to them. Listened to the youth ministry and got to meet everyone kind of involved in that, and it got me super excited. So they have you sit and watch before you make any kind of commitments, because a lot of people may think that they want to get involved in youth ministry but realize that in the end they don't. But I'm still super on board. I just get really excited because I don't know, I just want to connect with these kids. And I feel so blessed that I'm actually coming in right when we're getting a new youth pastor. And he gets here on the 14th, so I think. So at least that'll be the first day that he's in there. So it would almost be like me coming in and segueing right when the new person's coming. So I don't know. I think it's just timing's perfect with that. But so I really enjoyed that. I'm gonna fill out. We have to do this really big background check packet and basically tell them a lot of information about ourselves. And that's just to kind of better relate with some of the kids and some of the issues that they go through. Which is, the part that I really want to talk to people who are going through things, and just kind of help counsel and minister, and just be someone who these kids can talk to. I'm not older. I mean, I am older, but I'm not, at a point where I'm like a dad or a mom figure. I'm somebody who I'm sure when they look at me, they're like, okay, she's not, whatever. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just excited to hopefully be able to kind of be that person for someone. So, so super pumped about that. But anyway, so went, and Pastor Heath is back, which is awesome. We had another guy who came in for the last 2 weeks, and he was good, but I really love Pastor Heath. But anyway, so today we've been in the book of James literally since I've started there, and which makes me laugh because James is 5 chapters long. It's so short. That we've been spending months on it. So, but whatever, learning a lot. Kind of the big thing is faith that works. So it's not about necessarily like what you do. It's about, like making sure. Well, no. Let me back up. It's about what you do. Faith without works is dead, is like kind of the big thing that they say. So you can have X, Y, and Z, but if you're not doing anything to progress it, or, reach out to anyone, like, what's the point? So today we talked about James chapter 5, verses 16 through 18, and I'll go ahead and just read it to you and then kind of give you my thoughts. So 16, confess your faults one to another, and pray one for another, that ye may be healed. The effectual fervent prayer of a righteous man availeth much. Elijah was a man subject to like passions as we are, and he prayed earnestly that it might not rain, and it rained not on the earth by the space of 3 years and 6 months. And he prayed again, and the heaven gave rain, and the earth brought forth her fruit. So basically, and it's almost kind of ironic. This morning I felt compelled I made like an Instagram post about prayer, and that's what this ended up being about. But ever since I've come to faith, I pray, and I pray hard. And every single time I've gone and I've talked to someone, one of the first things that I heard was be specific in prayer. And so I was like, all right, cool. Like, don't just be like, oh, I hope everyone's healthy. Be like, oh, I hope Jordan, when he sneezed yesterday, that doesn't turn into a cold. Or, my dog's itching his ears. I hope that's not fleas. Like, stuff like that. Like, be specific in prayer. Not, I hope I do well on my test. Like, what's well? If you pray in relevant terms, you're not going to get anything specific. So if you sit there and you say, I hope I get at least an 86.5 on my test, obviously you got to put in some work, but, like, it's just be specific in prayer. And one of the biggest things that I'm really not working on now, but I'm really just, like, putting it out there, is when you pray, have faith that he will come and give you what you pray for. Not necessarily like specifically like what you pray for, but he gives you an answer for that prayer. And they always say his answers are going to be yes, no, or I have something better. You know what I mean? No. It's either yes, no, or not right now. But Jordan always says yes, no. I don't remember. Never mind. Forget it. But anyways, so just have faith that he will deliver what you're asking for. Like just a couple weeks ago, I was at a bad spot with I had way too many jobs. I was overwhelmed. I was like crying all the time. I just wasn't in a good spot to where, every single day I woke up and I was like, yay, Jesus. I started losing a lot of my oomph. And that really got me down. Like, it got to the point where I wasn't even having time to do my devotional homework or anything. And that night that I was thinking this at devotional, one of the ladies who was doing devotional with me had said that all you got to do is ask for what you need. He has so many little treasures waiting to give to us, but he wants to wait until we come to him and genuinely are like, please, kind of thing. And so that night I got home and I was like, Jesus, please give me a job that pays my bills and brings me closer to you. And I was just like, I need help. I'm drowning. And I was. In my daily life, I was drowning. And like the next day, I had one job come completely out of nowhere. They wanted me to come train with them at a faith-based training center called Hammer Time Fitness. And I was talking to the owners, his name's Craig and Robin, and and it was just perfect. And I was like, wow. It was just one of those times where like he helped me out fast. That didn't end up working out because it was really far away. Honestly, it was super far from my job. But by the same token, one of the jobs that I already had offered me a full-time position. And I was just like, perfect. So, dropped NutriShop, not in the Coast Guard anymore, and kind of been toning down on my personal training, but I'm just feeling better. We're still waiting on the gym to open, so I won't have my schedule isn't set, so it still feels hectic, but it's really not. I'm just used to, I think, being so that it's hard for me to just settle down now that the dust is settled. You know what I mean? So, I like the idea of and when I was praying though, I knew he would come through. I just kind of had to sit there and wait. I thought I was gonna be waiting a lot longer than I was, but I wasn't. So I think just having passionate faith behind your requests is very, very important. But some of the things that they had talked about today was he had broken down into an explanation and an example. So the explanation being verse 16, so the confess your faults one to another, pray for one another, all that stuff. But I think prayer is so important because beyond the idea of just talking to God and getting close with him, is it brings you closer to your relationships with your fellow Christians. Anyone who ever stops and is like, please pray for me, you're just like, all right, I got you. And it may seem like something so small, but the power of prayer is unreal. And it makes you just feel closer and more connected to that person. You have your brothers and sisters of Christ that you see on a daily basis, but it's one thing to reach out and care for them and to take your time and to pray specifically. My roommate Terrence, he's someone who, we just went through this. He had come to me and was just talking to me about, where we are in our faith, and he said he just needed help, getting back on track. He felt like he had kind of gotten away from, a lot of the things that he really stood for. And every night I've been praying for him. And I think, too, just knowing that there's people out there who are willing to support you makes you feel better. It makes you feel closer to God. It makes you feel like everything's going to be okay. And that's an awesome feeling, because sometimes when life is falling down on you, it doesn't feel like it's going to be okay. It really doesn't. And that's when you need to know that no matter what, your best interest he has. You may not understand the route he's taking you down your road, but that's not your job to understand. You just kind of have to go with your convictions, go with the way you feel, and just trust and have complete faith in what he's doing. But anyways, one thing I like that he said was prayer doesn't prepare you for battle. Prayer is the battle. Because really, like, praying is faith. Praying, talking to God is having faith in God. And even if it's not a prayer request or something like that, not a prayer request, but, like asking something of him, even if it's just simple conversation like, hey God, what's up? Here's what's going on. Having faith that he is on the other line listening and waiting for you is the battle, because faith, people, they attack faith tremendously. And you have a lot of hard stuff along the way when people figure out that you're someone who, is a godly person and that you have strong faith. It's not cool to be a Christian these days. It's just not. And I think that being open about your praying and asking to pray for people and things like that, it sets you up for attack. It just kind of is. So faith is the battle. Having faith is the battle. Praying is faith. It's a vicious circle. So, what else? Oh, and then the example was just how he was talking about Elijah, how he, prayed for no rain. God was like, all right, cool. 3.5 years, no rain. And then, but I think one of the biggest things is that he faithfully prayed for both. And it may, I think that there may be some things that God wants to do for us, but he's just waiting for us to be the person who, not being the person, but just like, we're all sinners. We're all on the same keel with him. Even Elijah from the Bible, it's like, he was using him as an example to show, like, he is the same as you and I. We're all black-hearted, wretched sinners, as Joby says, but if we just pray and we ask for something, Lord, please help my mom overcome cancer. Please help her find, blah, 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 blah. Those are the things that he's going to come down, and you're going to get your answer, whether it be what you want or not. If you pray and you wait and you are patient and you listen, you'll get your answer. And one of the big things is if you pray and you do not stop, that being faithful in prayer. Heath used the example today of this old lady had been praying for her husband for 40 years to find Christ. And after 40 years, he did. And he ended up dying a year later. But it's like 40 years of praying, and I think about, my family, and I'm like, all right, well, I got 40 years, let's do this, and that's all you can do is just pray and hope that he finds you. Not finds you. He answers your prayers in some fashion. So, I don't know. Ooh. Nope, didn't get it. But yeah, so that's just the biggest thing. When all else fails, just pray. Drop to your knees and just pray like there's no tomorrow, because he's listening. He really is. And it may not feel like it. He may not be giving you the answers you want, but he knows what's in your heart. And if what's in your heart is pure and of good intentions, he's going to bless you. That's just how it works. So yeah, so I hope you guys have a wonderful week. I got a lot going on this week for me. I have my very last class of school at Old Dominion, and I graduate in December, and I'm going to my very first big Christian concert. I'm going to see Third Day with Jordan on Sunday, and I'm so excited. My mom got me tickets for my birthday. Each of us, Jordan and I's birthday is a week apart, and I'm so pumped. I'm so pumped. Because Third Day was one of the very first Christian bands that I had ever heard. And I was just like, yeah, I love this band. Like, music fuels my soul. Like, if you follow me on Snapchat, all I do is, like, sing to Snapchat. My Snapchat name is Sarah Keck 24, if you want to get on that action. I love music, so just going to this and just being around a bunch of people who want to fellowship and worship, and it's just like, I'm excited. And then also, powerlifting meet this on the 6th, this Saturday. Get to go with the Cage Gym and watch everybody. And it's just going to be a really eventful week. And I'm so excited. August is going to be such a fun month. So much is going on. And I don't know. It's going to be a good time. So, anyways, I hope you guys have a great week. And I will be checking in with my Proverbs 31 Woman devotional that I'm trying to do. I'm not doing it every day, but every few days I'm, putting out a video with that. So it's going to be like a 20-part series or something like that. So, yeah. So anyways, you guys have a great week, and I will see you next time. Bye.